What is up, geeks and geekettes? It's another edition of the Countdown City Geekcast live. I'm your host, Ted, aka Steady. Joining me on this final discussion on the Superman 2025 film is one only Retro Ray,
What's going on, guys?
and making his triumphant return for the umpteenth time, the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only JC.
Hey everyone, I like how you say the final discussion. No, no. If you know anything about geeks, this is not the final. We've been talking about this for a long time. I don't know if it's Elliot and Rob talking Spider Man, but we'll be debating stuff. I'm pretty sure. So yeah.
You know what? Every now and then somebody brings up the great Spidey debate. It's
That
been
memory
like
popped up on my Facebook. It was like 2 days ago, and I was like, "Wow, it was that long ago." It was a close vote too, by the way. So
it was
it really was.
6, 7 years ago when we had that
Yeah, I think so. I think
discussion with
so.
those guys. We tried it
Yeah,
again. There was a sequel and all that good stuff.
yeah. We all collectively agree. Andrew Garfield is the best Spider Man, and I think he definitely showed that in Far From Home. So or No Way Home, excuse me. So yeah. So
Derpy, we see you, Derpy, in the
Derpy.
chat. We've already talked about Superman. This isn't the first time. The reason why we're doing it now is one because it's out on digital. But the biggest reason is because of the gentleman sitting to my right, JC, and he's the biggest Superman fan I know. And then the guy below me is the second biggest Superman fan I know, and they haven't been on camera to talk about the movie yet. So we're doing this to finally talk about it with these two gentlemen, and also to, like, you know what, we've all seen it. It's been out. It's now ending its theatrical run because it's on digital now. So, like, let's see where it landed, where everything, where the chips fell, and did it succeed? How we felt about it? Did it overperform, underperform? Is it setting up the DCU for success? There's a lot of questions now that the Superman is ending its theatrical run. But we want all you folks to join the chat. We're gonna be talking all about the movie. If you haven't seen it, you had your chance. But we still want to hear what you guys thought about it. So JC, you don't
Yeah.
have to worry about spoilers. You don't have to worry about
No.
anything that you're about to say. But I think you saw it out of the three of us most recently. So, like, what was your feeling walking out of that auditorium after just watching it?
Collectively, myself, my wife, my kids, we all saw it together, and we really enjoyed it. I thought just the action sequences was done, the CGI wasn't overdone, the story made sense, and it was a lot of fun as a Superman film. It really was. I'm just gonna preface by saying I'm not gonna get a debate. Was this better than Man of Steel or this and that? It's two entirely different things. I enjoy both of them. I like what James Gunn is doing here. I like what he's bringing to the table. Yes, I love what Zack Snyder did as well, and what I wish he could have gotten to finish his story. There's a wrestling reference out there, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and it's got me excited for the future of the DC movies. Yeah.
I agree with you on several of those things. I've been listening to other folks talking about this movie,
Mhm.
and they all kind of have that caveat, like, this is its own flavor,
Mhm.
this is its own vibe. We are at that point now where it's no longer a question of, is this a good movie? It's more like, it is a good movie, but is it a movie that you prefer more than this or more than that, or so on and so forth?
Right.
We're really getting to that point, especially with a storyteller like James Gunn,
Right.
who hasn't made a bad movie since Guardians 1. Like, it's just been hit after blockbuster after that, ever, just nonstop. So, like, we're at that point, folks, where it's no longer a matter of, is it a good movie, is it a bad movie? It's just, is it your cup of tea? Is what I think it really
Yeah.
comes down to. And I
And
think
hey, Sean, I see you on there. What's up, man?
I think a lot of folks are leading into it a
Mhm.
lot, and then there's some folks, and there might be some of us in this conversation where there are some things that we won't get on board with, and that's okay. That is absolutely okay. But we're here to talk about it right now. Ray, same question, man. You walk out of the theater just watching James Gunn's Foundation introduction into the DCU. What are your thoughts? What were your first feelings walking out of that auditorium?
This is what I wanted Smallville to be. Basically, once the end of the season ended,
Mhm.
um, basically as we see him, I mean, I loved it overall. Um, James Gunn kind of took a little bit what Mark Waid did. At the same time, he also did um, took from other writers as well, but he kind of made it his own
Mhm.
by doing this. Most of all, I loved about it was his family, showing that the being raised by the Kents, how it made him who he was as a human being and had empathy towards people. And it to me, that's what I loved about it mostly. But then of course Crypto really to me stole the show.
Damn dogs. Yeah. I was telling them before the show, and if you guys don't know, I have a veterinary office where I take my cats, and there's pet insurance, and they were advertising. The advertising for pet insurance has crypto from this movie on there. So I think dog adoptions went up like crazy after this movie came out too. So yeah, the,
I believe it. I absolutely believe it.
so
And
yeah.
you know how what was it? After Game of Thrones came out, everybody started naming their dogs after the wolves. After
Yeah.
season one came out, I bet you the crypto name is just going to be
Oh,
like
I'm sure
30-40% of all the names going forward this year.
Starbucks stock went up when that cub appeared in the Game of Thrones episode too. Remember that stuff, you know? So yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Um, I'm I I'm gonna go back, and if you saw our first discussion on this, then you've already heard some of this stuff. I had to see it twice because, man, the first time I watched it, it was the atmosphere in the auditorium was so energetic, and we were surrounded by just massive fans, mostly influencers who don't review movies as much, but it's neither here nor there. But it was exciting, and it wasn't a full comic book crowd for one thing. It was just people who like going to the movies, but it wasn't a solid comic book crowd, and you could tell. Let's just say that out loud, and you could tell. So, anyways, I watched that Superman the first time, and the first thought I had was that was fast. That was a grueling pace. It felt like we were in a full sprint from start to finish. It felt like you couldn't catch your breath because the story, the plot, the action sequences, everything was just one after the other, after the other, after the other. And I told myself I really got to watch this a second time to kind of figure out if I really if that's really what it was, or maybe it was just because of where we were at or who I was watching the movie with. So the second time I watched it, and David from the Star Wars Stuff podcast, he was with me the second time, and it was a much better experience. It didn't feel as fast paced, and it was regular opening night. I believe it was a fan event, the one that we went to, and so it was more of the comic book crowd laughing at every joke, getting excited during the action sequences, pointing out the cameos, stuff like that. You know what I mean? You understand when you're with a comic book movie crowd and they're getting excited for all the Easter eggs and stuff. That's sort of the better experience. And so the second time around, it felt better paced, still quick, but better paced, and I liked it better the second time around. We can get into some details, and I won't want to do too much of the stuff we don't like right away, if there is anything. But We'll start with JC if you want to go first, and just really point out like what really sold it for you. Like, what is this movie done better than maybe other Superman films haven't done in the past?
I won't say haven't done, maybe not as recently. I thought this was probably the most ruthless Lex Luthor we've seen on screen. I think Nicholas Holt did a fantastic job. Really, just from the his obsession, like the world needs to know how smart I am. The world needs to know how much of a genius I am. Is this Superman was his obsession, trying to kill him in a way. I mean, that was really his thing. That I think he played really well. He got a lot of screen time with the Luthor character. Not going to say anything mean about Jesse Eisenberg. I don't think he got enough time, obviously. But this Luthor, when I saw he was cast, I was like, all right. I mean, I've always liked him as an actor, and I thought he pulled it off fantastically. He was just obsessed. Uh, that really stuck out to me more than anything, honestly. Uh, Corn Sweat did a great job of like something that's really never really been touched on in Superman films is the balance, the Clark Kent, the Superman balance.
Mm.
Um, where do you balance him saving people versus uh, getting into international conflicts, right? Like that's front and center from the very beginning. So I think those are the two things that stuck out the most as far as those characters specifically, and it really revolves around them too. So
I will echo your sentiments about Nicholas Holt, who I still wish they would have saved for a live action Batman Beyond project because he has the face and the eyes of Terry McGinnis. You
uh
just throw a black emo haircut on him, and he looks just like a live action Terry McGinnis. But I guess it's too late now.
yeah,
It's okay. It's okay. I'm not mad about it. But he really sold the this version of Luther for me. I think it was when it needed to be like really aggressive as a character, but still very strategic, which is what you want in a great like DC villain. The DC villains are all very like manipulative, and they're all like they like to cause chaos, and they set traps, and they're thinking 2 3 steps ahead. It's the Batman villains, it's the Superman villains, it's the Green Arrow villains. Like they're all like the Flash villains. They're always the best ones are like 2 or 3 steps ahead. And so I really enjoyed what they did with Holt in this one as Luther. I think I wasn't sure if I was gonna really really enjoy Holt's Luther more than any others, but I think he's kind of my favorite, and I hope we
it's
see a lot more of him.
it's between him and Rosenbaum right now. That's
Right.
where I'm kind of right. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Um, that's
Yeah.
kind of where it sticks out for me. And I think Holt has said he was inspired by Rosenbaum's Luther when he was kind of preparing for the role too. So
I think he said that, but he also didn't want to watch too much tape of the guy
no,
because then you can
yeah,
kind of take things subconsciously that you might not
mhm.
be wanting to. And Joseph's in the chat saying, "I need to see it for a first time." What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? It's on digital now. Like you could
If you need
literally
the theater, it's probably the dollar theater pretty soon once his digital too. I mean, you could always just do that, you know.
you
Dollar
could
theater
literally
still exists,
watch it on
but
your phone for like
yeah,
$5 right now. Or what is it to rent these days? Like $10
I don't even know. I'm just
first
gonna get it on
run.
Blu-ray once it hits. I know that for sure. So yeah,
Star Wars Stuff Podcast says, shout out to David. I did shout out to David. Yes. I like Guy Gardner's haircut reminded me of third grade. I think the one of the things that I really liked about this, and it's almost something that I almost didn't like about this,
Mhm.
was how good the supporting characters are.
Yeah,
It's a Superman movie where like he's fighting for the spotlight because Guy Gardner's stealing the show, Mr. Terrific stealing the show, Lex Luthor's stealing the show, Hawk Girl
Hot
when she's
Girl. Everyone got their own time in the sun, or time in the sun, so to speak. Their time to shine. Mr. Terrific's fight scene with like the one camera shot with Lois sitting there in the force field was fantastic. It was just awesome. Just it just showed what they can do. Um, of course, Green Lantern highlight, of course, is the middle finger thing. That was hilarious. But everyone got a chance to really show what they're capable of, and that was really cool about this. They weren't just supporting characters; they had something to do with the story.
I'm not even talking about the goat of the movie. The goat of the movie, Jimmy Olsen. Come on, Jimmy freaking Olsen stole the show, man. He had
Oh,
he had the biggest laugh for me. And how weird is that? Talking about a DC comic movie, a Superman movie, where the biggest laugh for me personally was Jimmy Olsen talking to Luther's main squeeze, and she's like talking about going on vacation or something, and he gives the longest pause ever before he finally says, "Yeah."
yeah.
Jimmy stole the show. He had some of the biggest laughs, and it's weird. It's weird, but it's great that that's happening in a DC Comics Superman movie. Ray, same question goes to you, man. Like, what really sold this movie for you? What really, made it a movie you could recommend for everybody?
Well, I mean, Crypto's the one that really got me. The trailer got me
Crypto,
for the first
exactly.
time.
Yeah.
You know, but no, Lex is up there with Rosenbaum, like JC said. And Marv Wolfman, which we interviewed, he mentioned that they took his Lex from his run that he did, and because basically he's an evil genius kind of thing. And he mentioned he liked how they took that Lex and made him that character. And of course, we got Cat Grant from him as well, but we didn't see much from her though. I was expecting a much of a bigger role
I think they're
from
saving
Cat
that for the
Grant.
Supergirl film because I think obviously she has more to play in that. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah.
Yeah, and but overall, I mean, the fight scenes were awesome. Lex was the evil genius, but then I also got that feel of him kind of like a jealous little kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wanted to prove that he's better than everybody, and he wanted to take down Superman basically. But as overall for the movie, I mean, the characters, Lois Lane, same thing. She was awesome as Lois. Um, but at the end of the day, the premise of the movie, what it was basically trying to tell is that Superman cares for everybody. I mean, when he's trying to save that one dog, when he's trying to hold the creature's
Yeah.
foot up, and he's trying to get him out of the way so he won't get smashed, that just showed that, because basically, Kevin Smith mentioned it on his podcast recently. Superman basically, I think it was Mark Bedard, um, he has to go to bed at night because he hears everybody's voices, screaming for help or whatever, and he has to pick who he's going to save, and he can't save everybody. And Superman has to. That's who he is. He wants to try to save as many people as he can, even down to the squirrels, the dogs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even when you can tell when he's like, I have to go turn myself in because the dog's by himself. And he's the most powerful man in the world. Why is he going to do that? You know what I mean?
I
Well, I
didn't
mean,
mind.
he got humbled for sure. But yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
Ted. Sorry.
No. Probably the same thing you were going to say. It was mind-boggling that you heard anybody complaining about Superman saving a squirrel, and it's like this is a big boy blue. Like he's the Boy Scout of all the comic book superheroes. Like if he's not gonna save the squirrel, then nobody is. Like of course he's gonna save the squirrel. It
I
was it
mean,
was weird that became for like a couple of days, like a talking point on social media.
didn't he
It's
save
like
cats and trees in the early comics and everything too? I mean, come
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. This was very much a humbled Superman. I mean, from the jump, they tell you he's been here 3 years. Now he lost his first fight, and boom, right into it. Now he's not overpowered. Like he's been around. You compare to a lot of the other Superman films, they're pretty quick turnaround, right? You get the backstory, they're in a Superman. Their first conflict is like what, a month or two into being Superman, so they're still trying to figure things out. He's been in for 3 years now. He just got his ass kicked. Now he got humbled, um, but that's that goes back to that's by now he's probably learned that lesson. You can't save everybody. That's We mentioned Smallville. Ray, we watched Smallville. I'm watching it again as I follow along with the Talkville podcast.
Yeah.
Clark learning you can't save everybody. That's one of the early lessons that Superman has to learn as he deals with, as powerful as he is. He's not a god. So yeah.
I'll tell you one thing: this movie definitely did better than any of the other movies, with the exception of the original. Best chemistry between Lois and Clark, I think. For sure, Superman and Lois. There was like one, maybe two scenes where like it is interesting that James is trying to take such bold decisions when he's having these two argue about something. International conflicts, stuff like that. Kind of makes sense, but also on the flip side, I feel like this was the Superman that sort of was the least poised out of all of them, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
The most stressed, for sure.
Yeah, and I could not help but like be aware of that. Like anytime it seemed like he was getting a little too angsty, I was thinking to myself like, wow, I've never seen a Superman act that way before. And it's not to say that it's bad. I was just really aware of that. And it's probably just, you know what, this is what a modern day Superman would absolutely act like. This is what a modern day Superman in a modern day world would be stressed out to this level. Even though he's immortal, invincible, a god, basically, he would still feel human enough to have these type of emotions, these type of reactions in certain situations, and that kind of made him the most human on screen if you really think about it. So yeah, it was it was wild to kind of see that. It was refreshing to kind of see that, and I really enjoyed James taking that big of a swing. He knows it's never been done this way. He knows this is the first time anyone's portrayed Superman in that light or that vein. There's a lot of firsts in here. Superman getting his butt whooped that bad kind of feels like a first. He lost a lot of fights in this movie. Let's put it that way.
Well, first of all, once he called him Ultraman, I was like, okay, I already knew where it was going. But it was one of two ways. He was either a clone or it was Clark from another Earth. Obviously, I don't think they were going to take that bold of a step. But there's two ways they could have gone with Ultraman. Ray and I know Ultraman is essentially Clark. It's either a clone of him or it's an alternate Earth where he lands and he's raised by the Luthors, essentially. So, so I knew, okay, it makes sense. It's not like he's just getting his ass whipped by some random. Like, it makes sense why. This is basically his equal, potentially stronger. He's just a little bit mindless. He's controlled. Regarding what you were just talking about, how he's stressed in a way, who knew? But aside from Kryptonite, it's a few mean tweets that would just get to him. And then we find out it's freaking Luthor's monkeys the whole time bringing that up as well. That's who wouldn't react to stuff being said about him when you think you're doing good deeds, right? I mean, super shit, among other things they're hashtagging and stuff like that. So,
well, I mean, when you bringing back Ultraman and bringing up Ultraman, I mean, that's true, because as soon as when I was watching this, and when I saw him walk up to that door and the door opened up, I'm like, the only way this door is opening is if it's his DNA. Yeah. And I'm like,
exactly.
My thing was thinking, I was like, okay, it's Ultraman. Ultraman, the difference between Ultraman and Superman is Ultraman doesn't really know how to control his powers other than what he's told to do.
Right.
Superman has been raised by the Kents and shown how to control his power and how to be more responsible with what he has. If you watch any of the Ultimate Ultimate Superman shows, when Superman throws down with people, he he has that point when he fights the like dark side and stuff, he doesn't hold back because he knows dark side can take it and he could beat him up, because not anyone else can take what Superman can bring because how strong he is. And this is where seeing, Lex controlling him, telling him, like, to me, I thought it was chess moves, is what I was taking it as,
Yeah.
like F1, 2, whatever, and just hitting him and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it was great overall. Just the Ultraman persona. I'm taking it, and it's just me thinking out loud. I can see this Ultraman turning possibly into Doomsday, you know,
If they go
eventually.
that route.
You think
That's
he'll be back?
that's my theory. Like I said, this is just a theory. I don't know if it's true or not, whatever, but I think he could basically become Doomsday if they go that route.
Kind of similar to what they did with Bizarro on Superman and Lois. Is that where you're reading it, kind of thing?
Yeah, that's where I'm kind
Yeah.
of getting from. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It's in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what? I kind of hope that this isn't the last we've seen of the clone, because if I was to tell you guys before you saw the movie that we were going to get a full-fleshed clone of Clark, of Kal-El, in this movie, I think you would have an expectation of like how big that reveal was going to be.
Hmm.
And I think one of the things that I don't hear people talking about a lot is that the clone should have been a bigger deal. Like almost, felt like it wasn't big enough of a reveal. Like it should have been a major plot twist. Maybe because there's a few in here already, I think, and
I
that
think it
kind of dilutes
depends.
it a little bit.
I mean, I think for the people that know the Superman lore, you know who Ultraman is, you know what
Mm.
he is. But for people like my kids and my wife who don't fully understand it, when it was a big deal to them when they realized, wait a minute, that's Superman with with long hair, right? Maybe maybe it was just it was hard to tell that it actually was him, Maybe that's a makeup thing. But the reveal was kind of quick. Yeah, I will say that, maybe it was just got James Gunn assuming that it shouldn't have to be a big deal. Like, okay, it's Ultraman. Now we know why. Here it is. Um, but yeah, I could see where that should have been made a bigger deal of. Now, if they had advertised it, I don't know if people would have. If they had advertised that they could have a Superman clone in this, like on the marketing, I don't think it would have done as well
Yeah.
because people would have been ready to shit on it from the very beginning. I mean,
No, I agree.
people are always looking for something bad to talk about any kind of comic movie. So.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think it. I hope we haven't seen the last of this clone, because, in my eyes, the Kal-El that James Gunn is presenting to us probably would have tried a little bit more to kind of like save a clone of himself.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's not full evil. Definitely brainwashed. Doesn't probably have his full thoughts. Probably not his own and all that. But probably would have made another attempt to try and save him or salvage his life. And now we don't know if we'll see him again. But I hope that we do, and that we get a second chance at it being sort of a major revelation. Just seems like it should have been a bigger deal than what it kind of felt like. And I don't think it's a detriment to the movie. It doesn't make the movie horrible or anything like that. I definitely wish it kind of would have felt like it was a much bigger deal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if you watch Smallville, Ultraman in that one, he's kind of a little bit smarter, and he knows his powers. He's more evil based in the Smallville series when he made his appearance.
Because he was another Earth that was raised by the Luthers. That's how they portrayed it.
Yeah, that's how they portrayed it. So he was more aware. He had that cold heart type mentality of the Lexes, which was a great way of introducing him in Smallville. But yeah, no, it was definitely a good spin on it. But I mean, even that, I mean, I also thought about it too this way, that I could see him possibly becoming Bizarro. I also thought about that as well. So I don't know.
Maybe.
it kind of felt like we weren't that far away from it. What
Mhm.
else do we need? Just a little bit more of like a decay of his
Well,
face,
no,
or
because
him to speak backwards.
he had heat vision, so it's like okay, he's not gonna be Bizarro. Bizarro, it's
Yeah.
reversed, right? So,
Right.
but I like the Doomsday idea. Now, I'm not saying bring out Doomsday and kill him in the next film. We've done that already.
Yeah.
You know, but I could see it coming down maybe a few films down the road. Maybe you, I think what's next? Supergirl. I don't know if they're doing another Superman after that. I haven't even looked at the order of what the DCU films are. I just know Supergirl's next.
Well, so what James has confirmed already, and this is not a spoiler by any means, he's
Yeah.
already finished the treatment for the Superman sequel,
Okay.
which he's being a little coy. He's saying it's not a straight sequel, which you could take that however you will. But it is a follow-up movie with Superman in it, and he's now calling this entire arc of Superman the Superman saga.
Okay.
So that's done. Next stage is for it to be turned into a script, because right now it's just kind of one big long book is what it sounds like, or it's probably just a bunch of notes in correct order, and so he's going to have to organize it into a script version, and then he says like we could go into production as early as next year. They're really fast tracking um, whatever project is going to include David Cornsweet's Superman next.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, especially with the Supergirl, I was kind of thrown off at the very end with that. I was kind of like, really, are we gonna get this? I mean, don't get me wrong. The Tom King's run was great too. You know, she's on another planet, same premise, kind of. But I don't know how much of that they're gonna take from that Tom King's run. Um, but I'm just kind of interested because it just seemed like.
My
Go ahead.
my understanding was she's in essence been floating in space, living off what's left of Krypton,
Yeah,
and she's in essence rescued. So she hasn't, she didn't get the childhood that Clark did, that Kal-El did. So
yeah,
she's being brought to Earth, and now she's got to go to planets with red suns to to live it up to get drunk. And I was like, you know
yeah,
what? Maybe Clark should do that and lighten up a little bit. Sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. Um, so yeah, it's and that's kind of that's the uninhibited part of it. She's in essence more powerful than her cousin because she also doesn't know how to control it.
yeah.
I mean, crashes through the door. She's getting slammed up and down by Krypton. It's like it's nothing to her. So it's a funny take. My daughter's a big Supergirl fan, and she was like, "What? That's it?" I was like, "You gotta wait for the movie. I need to see where this goes." So she's got her own story to tell, and it's not going to be all bells and whistles and happy-go-lucky like the TV series was. So
Well, I mean, even in the TV series, I mean, she knew how to she knew how to fly before Clark did, in Smallville.
but
So
it's
it was.
Smallville, but not the Supergirl series. Supergirl series, she was like
Oh yeah, yeah, no, the
sent to the
series. Yeah,
Phantom Zone. But yeah, in Smallville, she was just stuck in suspended animation for for almost what 20 years.
yeah.
I think it was. Yeah, we get to season 7 where she finally comes out. So yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. I want to see what they're gonna do. I don't know if you guys did. JC, did you read Tom King's run?
I don't think I did. I need to like freshen up on that. I have to
Pick
go
it up.
back
It's
to
on
it.
graphic novel.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of curious. I want to see what they're gonna do, but I mean, it's a good read. Tom King has done some great work with Nightwing and stuff like that. But yeah, that's definitely one you want to pick up.
Okay.
Scott Robinson says it was Bizarro in Smallville. Yep, yep. Tommy says, please, for the love of God, hold off on Doomsday.
Hold on. Who was Bizarro in Smallville? It wasn't Ultraman. Bizarro in Smallville was a phantom that
Yeah,
took it was Clark's DNA. That was Bizarro in Smallville. Ultraman in Smallville was from another Earth, and that brought like that when they killed Lionel. That was the new Lionel. It was like evil Lionel. Like that Ultraman was crashed on that Earth, basically killed Lex and took Lex's place. So Lionel raised Kal-El in that Ultraman. So Bizarro in Smallville was a phantom that took Clark's DNA. That was the difference there. And
yeah,
then Doomsday was flat out his own Doomsday. That was a different whole thing. So
yeah. Which
yeah,
was Sam Whitworth.
that way where he did what he
Damn,
could, but it look, best Doomsday we've gotten has been Krypton, hands down,
hands
flat out.
down.
Yes, it's you're never gonna top that. So yeah,
I I love the story. Sam Witwer Who was in that? Who's the wrestler that was in that episode? Oh no, it wasn't that episode. It was a different episode. Was it Dave Batista who was on an episode of
Batista
Smallville?
was in season 6
Yeah.
while Clark was hunting the Phantoms. He was a Phantom Zone escapee.
Yeah.
Kane
Yeah,
also
Kane.
played. He was there. So was Ashley Mazzaro. May she rest in peace. She was also WWE. There was, I think WWE had just gotten a CW at the time, so they were kind of intertwining that. And so I remember Kane was also a zoner that had escaped as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
funniest story, I think you've probably already heard this, but Batista, I think the scene called for Batista's character to lift up Clark above his head. And so
Yes.
they were trying to figure out how to get Clark on ropes or whatever. And Dave's like, "What if I just pick him up?"
Yeah. Tom
And
Welling has said he felt so emasculated at that time. I was like, oh my god.
Tom was like, "You could do that." He goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So they did it. Dave
Yeah.
just picked up 6'3", 6'4" Tom Welling
Yeah. Held him
above
over
his
his
head
head.
like he was
That's really
nothing.
Tom doing his own stunts in that scene. If you go back and watch it, yes.
It's like, yeah, that's how massive Dave was around that time.
Go listen to that episode of Talkville. Tom Talk About is hilarious. So yeah.
That's
Dude,
great.
Yeah.
I'm so happy they did this podcast. I was wondering how long it was going to be before he basically embraced, Superman in Smallville, because he kept away from the spotlight after for a long period of time.
Yeah.
But now he's doing the con circuit. I mean, that's freaking awesome.
The
So
cruise, everything like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude,
So
I'm just like, it's cool getting to hear them talk, especially the last interview when they got to talk to Supergirl herself.
yeah, Laura Vandervoort. And
Yeah.
how young she was starting out, so it was
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Scott says correct when you gave your explanation of Ultraman on Smallville, and Scott touches on a great point. Says Supergirl basically has PTSD from losing her Kryptonian family and being alone. Yeah, not only just the family, the entire planet.
Because she remembers living
She
on
does.
Krypton. Yeah. Clark has no recollection of it. He was a baby when he was sent away. Like in every iteration of this, Kara remembers Krypton. She has memories of Krypton. So it's very different for her. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a very emotional Supergirl film. I mean, she's already like on her way to hitting rock bottom. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like she's wasted. She's got her cousin taking care of her pets for long periods of time.
Literally shows
Um,
up white girl wasted at the end of the film for crying out loud. So yeah.
Yeah, and so you
Yeah.
kind of already see the foundation that James is setting up for that project, and it's gonna be an emotional one. I mean, they're setting it up that way, and for all smart reasons. So yeah, expect a very dark, somewhat emotional Supergirl film coming up after this.
Mhm.
And then also,
Uh,
too, guys, if you didn't know, Casa made an announcement. The artist that is doing Crypto, the current Crypto series, the 5-issue series in comic book form, will be at Casa. Mike Norton will be there. So you can get your Crypto book signed and possibly get a commission if you want. But yeah, he's going to be there. He also did Revival, too.
Okay.
If you want to go to an actual comic book convention with nothing but authors and artists, and if you're in the San Antonio area, head down November 15th to the Comic Arts San Antonio event. For more information, go to comicarts-sa.com.
That's at Wonderland Mall, right? That's the ballroom next to Wonderland. Is that?
They
Park North.
moved it.
Oh, they moved it.
This
Okay.
is now under the Draft House Park North at the
Oh,
Red
okay.
Oak
Oh,
Ballroom.
okay. I see it. Yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah, Mike has been doing awesome artwork for the Crypto series. I've been reading that one. I've been trying to get the writer on to talk to him because it's you're having to write for a dog who can't talk, but you're having to put story together, and it's been awesome.
Look who's talking kind of thing. Part 3
Yeah.
with the dogs.
But yeah,
Tommy
good.
wants to know where's Power Girl. Don't we all want to know where?
Oh, for sure.
Power Girl?
Who do you get to portray her? That's who is qualified enough to portray Power Girl?
That's hard.
Yeah. Hmm.
I mean, back then, if they would have done it back then, I could see Pamela Anderson.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
currently, I couldn't tell.
I don't know.
That's a tough one.
Yep.
The Superman cartoon has Supergirl in suspend animation too,
Mm-hmm.
and he also says Tom did great things.
Sure.
Absolutely, he's got a great Nightwing run too, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was him, yeah.
I didn't
JC
look it
Art,
up.
what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Good
Oh,
to see you.
JC.
Tommy says Doomsday and Superman and Lois was cool. Absolutely, love the backstory. Love how they portrayed him. And the entire fight sequence was like second to none in live
Yeah.
action form.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah, Scott's saying Tom's not a small guy either. No, he's
No.
absolutely not.
Yeah,
I interviewed him.
my wife agrees with that too. She would just love to meet him so much. Yeah.
Yeah, no, when I did the panel with Tom and Jonathan
Mhm.
for they were both towering over me. Like I'm just a regular sized man. Those guys are giants. Rachel Brosnahan's performance as Lois,
Mhm.
probably the second best next to Margot Kidder, if not very close, like 1 and 1A.
From a film perspective, yeah, very good. I think when you compare it to Amy Adams and oh god, who did it in Superman Returns? Um, what does her name escape me?
Kate
Well,
Bosworth.
Kay Bosworth. Yeah, when you compare those, God, I think it was very strong. She was very much. Everyone talks about how Corn Sweat can go from Clark to Kal El. His demeanor changed. She went from girlfriend Lois to reporter Lois just as intense, you
True.
know. And I think people miss that. Like, okay, we're doing the interview, immediately reporter. She's not the reporter's gonna fuck around. She's gonna ask the hard questions. You know, I don't care that if you're sleeping in the bed next to me or that you can get mad and throw me through the freaking window if you wanted to. Like, she's gonna ask the hard hitting questions, and I think that's something I think she kind of did better than Margot Kidder did because when Margot Kidder did that scene, she obviously her character had no idea that it was Clark as well. You know, she didn't know that her coworker was also Superman. Um, I liked that piece of it for her as well. Still not my personal favorite Lois. My personal favorite Lois is still Erica Durance because she really captured that character from the start. But I think hers, at least on the movie sense, is very underrated. People are kind of lost on how good she was as she played that relationship Lois to reporter Lois back and forth very well.
Hey, did you catch JC the butterscotch candy thing?
Oh, what was it again? I can't remember what it referenced, but it caught something how she had the butterscotch thing. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
because I think it was from the original Superman. It was Lois who liked the butterscotch candy.
yeah, something like that, or there was always some oral fixation she had because she was trying to get her off smoking. There was always
Yeah,
something she had. Yeah, so if she wasn't smoking, it was a candy thing. Yeah,
yeah.
so so I think they asked
Tommy
a couple
says,
times. She asked how to spell something. She was always a bad speller too. So those little references. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy says he wants a live action absolute DC. Wouldn't mind that at all. One of my favorite parts of the movie was Luther being unhinged.
Yes.
I I agree to a certain extent. I agree with most of that, but definitely we could probably all agree that there's one scene that feels like, oh, he might have crossed the line. This being really kind of advertised as like a family movie. It's the beginning of the DCU, and we all see Luther just straight up execute a guy, and it's tough, and it's a hard thing to kind of um what's it called, show your kids to, like
I mean, it was PG-13 for a reason. I mean,
only
it
because they zoomed out, but it's still the
well,
context of
yeah.
what just happened
It
is
is zoomed
very rated
in,
R.
very rated R. I don't know who dropped the one F bomb you're allowed to drop in a PG-13 movie because that's the rule, right? You throw more than one F bomb, it's automatically rated R. I can't remember who dropped the F bomb. It probably was
Guy
Luther.
Turner.
Yeah, yeah, it probably might have been actually. So, I mean, okay. First of all, it's PG-13, so the rating was there. It's DC. DC always has a dark element, and it's James Gunn. the guy made Peacemaker and Suicide Squad for crying out loud. If you didn't think he was gonna have some violent shit going on in this movie,
Oh, dude.
yeah, so like this was very toned down when you compare those projects to what he's doing. So yeah.
Well, and that's another reason why I guess they dropped it sooner, right? Because so
Mhm.
people can be prepared for Peacemaker.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a reason. And two, it wasn't really competing with anything on the theatrical run of it too, right? Because there were some other blockbusters. They got it away um, from Lilo and Stitch like a month later, just kind of picking up off of that, if you will. So yeah.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, getting to talk to Marv Wolf about Vigilante
Mhm.
in Peacemaker.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a character we talked about. It was I liked him, and like I said, I'm not a big wrestling fan, JC. Like, I
Hmm.
mean, not wrestling in general, but John Cena fan. I'm not a big John Cena fan, but he has done a great job with Peacemaker.
Even the cameo in this movie was hilarious, and that he said that was just something they did off the cuff, and it just worked out great. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Tommy says Mr. Terrific needs a movie. I'll go one better. I think he needs like a limited series,
I was
like
about to say a
four,
series, definitely a
6
series.
episodes.
Hmm.
I think you can really either give us an origin if you want to, or do something where he's dealing with a personal conflict that goes back to his origin, and so we're going into we're having flashbacks, and we're kind of seeing how he came to be, but we're still in sort of the modern time, like that way. I think would be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, totally deserves it.
Hmm.
The actor was done right after his bullcrap test and accepted first class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
But
Sadie
hey,
Sweeney as Power Girl, or we
all right.
riot.
Yeah, she's got good genes. Yeah, that's we have a winner. Yeah, for sure. So just in between Euphoria shoots. So oh yeah,
Lois
for
is a
sure.
bad speller in all continuities.
Hmm.
if you guys didn't know, there is a Mr. Terrific series that's currently out in comic book form. I think they're on issue 8 or 9. But the graphic novel is going to be dropping its year 1 of Mr. Terrific, so that's out currently.
And it's
So
based on this character?
kind of based on this character to a certain extent, not 100% off of it because they take bits and pieces. But
Mm.
the story arc that's going on with it is a good run to read, especially since there's not much independent stuff on Mr. Terrific. I mean, he's in like the Justice League and stuff like that, but there's no actual run stories that just focuses on him. This is actually the most recent one.
By
Gotcha.
the
Gotcha.
way, Tommy's a writer and he misspelled continuities, which is a very underrated way to put that with Lois being a bad speller.
I
And
Oh,
was
that's
actually wondering if we did it as a joke,
I don't
yeah.
know if
I
he
thought
did
the
or not.
same thing.
but maybe not. And now he's going to hate us for calling that out. Luther killing that
He'll
guy
give me
felt
shit
like
on
it
the
was
WrestleCast Wednesday if he did.
Luther killing that guy. I felt like it was to make sure that you didn't like Luther. I
Mhm.
didn't like him after he yelled at his chick the first time. Like
Yeah.
it was like that ended quick. And then later on, I think he like threw a plate of food on the floor. And as soon as you show me a person who wastes food, I'm just like, ugh, the ego. It's terrible. What a villain.
Yeah.
Nicholas Holt is very likable. Yes, he
The
is.
actor's likable. There's Luther, very unlikable, but that was kind of the point, right? So yeah,
Sydney
Yeah.
Sweeney can be Power Go. Yes,
agreed.
LOL.
Yeah.
Terrific. Always a background character. Oh, please, I misspell stuff all of the time. We didn't say it. Tommy said it, not us, not us.
uh, yeah.
What have we not talked about?
The death of
You know what?
somebody.
I could have done without the screeching hawk girl
Yes,
throughout the
that bothered
movie.
me.
It, it, it. I won't go as far to say it bothered, but I'm just like, there's no reason for it. Like, she does not need to go around with the big wide fishbowl lens they put on her face, and her
That was
just
kind
like
of weird. Yeah, that was
it.
kind of weird. But
Yeah,
I like Isabella Merced. I think she did a fantastic job. And when she grabbed that guy from before, he was like, "You're not gonna kill me." Oh yeah, I'm not Superman. Bye. Yeah, done with that. So
who's having a better career than or a better year than her?
mhm.
She was on that. She was on Alien Romulus a year ago. She was in The Last of Us season 2. I mean, she's just having an incredible year, and good for her. The original live action Dora. There wasn't a Dora before her, right? She was the
Not
first.
only that, I think she also did the voice of the cartoon.
You're kidding. I
No,
didn't know
yeah,
that.
I'm pretty sure she was also. I don't know if it was the original cartoon or one of the later cartoons, but she not only did the voice, but ended up being playing the live action version as well. I'm trying to remember.
Star Wars Stuff podcast says Terrific is allegedly getting his own show. Ah, great minds
Mhm.
think alike. Tommy says, "Don't even look at my first drafts of my writing. Screeching Hawk Girl was a weird choice. Plus, is she human or from Thanagar? What do you guys think?"
You would have to. She would have to be from Thanagar because
For
I
the
mean,
metahuman piece of it, yeah, I would
well,
think
I
so.
mean, because Small was the only one that really did it, where they reincarnated the bodies. I guess you can say.
Yeah.
I think Small was what did it. Um, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Also,
Uh,
for Mister Terrific fans, um, I'm in the works of trying to get the writer for that comic I did mention. I forgot to say that.
she was the voice of Dora, or no, sorry, she was the voice of Kate in Dora and Friends Into the City. That's what it was. So she was actually a voice actor on one of the Dora series, and then she actually got cast to play Dora. So
Gotcha.
yeah, that's where that tied in.
Wasn't she also in the Spider-Man movie too? Not Spider-Man,
Oh,
but
Madam Web.
Madam Web. There you
we
go.
don't talk about that one, Ray.
Apparently, she didn't either because she didn't want them to know she wouldn't get cast. So yeah.
Yeah, we don't talk about Madam Web,
It was
which
okay. It was one of
no
those
no
days
no
on
don't don't don't
when
try
it's
and
a
salvage it.
Saturday and you have nothing to watch. That's a movie you could just sit on the damn couch and watch. It's nothing
We don't
to.
have to ruin this podcast talking about Madam Web right
I
now.
haven't
Let's
seen it
just
yet, but Sydney Sweeney's in it. I might have to watch it. I'm just
it it she's in it for 5 minutes and then you can turn it off after those 5 minutes are over.
cool. Can't wait.
What was she's dancing on the table too? Remember
That
that
was
scene?
Okay.
that was within that 5 minutes. That's it. That's it. That
Uh,
is it.
one person who's having a hell of a career, Alan Tudyk.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, he's in
what
everything.
hasn't he done, dude?
I don't know. That was once you had the robots had voices. Okay, one of these guys has to be Alan Tudyk. You just knew it at this point, and he does a great job with it. Um, what else? Okay, does anyone else think Bradley Cooper is a believable Jor-El at this point? Though that's the only thing. I feel like
No,
he's
I
too
didn't like
young.
that.
So that was an interesting choice. So yeah,
Okay, I think I'm not fully on board with it.
okay.
And I remember when I said I wished the clone reveal was a bigger was more dramatic. It
Hmm.
felt like it got diluted because there were so many other twists. Another twist is that Kylo's father and his parents basically sent him off to Earth to conquer it, and that was a big deal. Now I get why I get why James does it because it sets in motion the political advantage that Luther gets in order to
Yeah,
start enacting all of these policies to start taking advantage of Clark. I get it. I don't know. I wish there was a different way that he had accomplished that. Set him up a different way. You're a evil genius. Set up a scenario where he actually gets blamed for something really horrific, and then you get the support of the U.S. government or the UN or whatever you need to start, setting policies in place and having the president start signing all these ridiculous laws or whatever against metahumans. Like, I don't know if that was the only way to do it. You probably could have figured out a different way to do it without completely doing that because that plot twist also diluted the clone plot twist. There's too many plot twists. Like one really big
I
one, maybe two. That's it.
I was kind of waiting for the hammer to drop where it was like, no, that's not really the translation. Like Luther made it up to turn the world against Superman, right? And I don't have they confirmed that that's really what the translation was? Like, are they going to change it around later, or is Gunn saying no? That's what it is. Like, I don't.
Well, Mr.
I'm pretty
Terrific
sure
said
it's
that's
too
what it
late.
was.
Yeah,
Mister.
it's too
Okay.
late. Like
Yeah.
you can't beat us over the head with it and then
Yeah.
retcon it later down the road. Because then
Have you
it
seen the
takes
way
away
DC
everything
does
he.
stuff before? I mean, come on. So, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a really surprising. I won't say it's a horrible decision. It's very surprising, and because and you guys know this better than anybody. Um, it's such a great dynamic that you have either the mother or father of Kal-El still being an AI or something component of the ship. We saw it in Man of Steel. It was great. We saw it in what's it called? Superman and Lois, the TV series where Clark's mother is the AI, right?
There's Jarell the Fortress, or his mom's the
Yeah.
Fortress.
Yep.
Even his brother's fortress in the desert.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
the brother's not a AI. Like the mother and the father were
oh, they're the I guess the essence of their parents. Yeah, for
the
sure. Yeah.
essence,
Hmm.
yes.
Yeah.
And so those are both great dynamics he can tap into, but you can't do that now because they were evil a-holes.
Yeah, and as Ray and I have watched Smallville, like season two, when of all people, Dr. Virgil Swan, played by Christopher Reeve, reveals to Clark where he's from, and now he learns to read Kryptonian, and he gets the full message from his ship, and he translates to say they're a good race, rule them, and it's like
Yes.
I'm supposed to rule these people, like I think that's also part of it is like how much him living on Earth, raising on Earth, being raised on Earth, decides he's got to decide his own destiny.
Yeah.
Another Smallville lesson he had to learn as well. So
Well, getting
Uh,
back to SpaceCon
oh,
and Smallville, did you see who the guest is going to be? JC, I think you're going to like this.
oh boy, who is it?
It is. I'm trying to pull her name. Um, Adriana. Can't pronounce her last name. She
Pilecki?
Palecki. Yeah, she played.
Mhm.
Supposedly, we thought she was Supergirl at first.
Yeah, it
Who-
was who he's
Yeah,
using to get her to. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. So she's going to be at SpaceCon.
If I make it, I need to get a picture of her as Wonder Woman. That is a
That
very
yeah.
underrated pilot. I thought it was a really good pilot. I thought they had something there, but it just never got picked up. And
Hmm.
then she was also in
Friday.
Supernatural.
Yeah.
And was she in the Aquaman pilot as one of the sirens? I can't remember. The Aquaman
No.
pilot that Justin Hartley was going to play Aquaman. I don't know if you guys ever saw that.
I have seen it, but I don't
Yeah.
remember if she was in it. She was also in Agents of Shield, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights for sure, but she's
Yeah.
probably most remembered for. Yeah. So
And I think GI Joe too.
she had a hell of a career.
Yep.
David says he liked the screeching, and I actually can vouch for him because he was laughing his head off every time it happened. He loves Guy Gardner's referenced harem of
Harem of
women
women.
line
Hashtag
delivery,
secret harem that the monkeys were typing out too and everything. Yeah.
which
I
is which is also like one of the very minute things that I think James does that might bug me. It's like we get this plot twist. Clark's devastated about the news, and yet we're making a lot of jokes about it. Like let's stay in one emotion sometimes.
yeah.
Let's actually marinate in that emotion for a bit before we jump out of it with a joke.
Yeah.
JC's
Oh.
thinking about it.
I'm thinking about because you guys mentioned I've only seen it once. I do want to get on Blu-ray, and I kind of want to pause when we get in the Pocket Universe and see what other little Easter eggs are in that whole wall of people he's got captive. Like, are there some hidden um, faces or characters in there? I'm interested to see that for sure. Um, I think that's something that I want to see it again to try and catch as well. So it
Tommy
did,
called
Tommy.
out.
It did. Yeah. So,
Is
but
is there a way to watch it? I didn't know that you could
I'm
watch it.
I'm sure it's leaked somewhere.
Yeah,
Huh.
Yeah.
there's pirated versions of it.
Yeah. That's probably
The
how I saw it.
CGI is crap because it's not fully filled in.
Yeah.
But
Like
yeah,
it was like halfway done, and then they decided, no, we're gonna cancel it. Like they never got a chance, you know. So,
the dude from Princess Bride's in it, right? I remember his name.
um, Curry Ells,
Yes, he's in it, right?
he's in it. I think so.
Yeah.
It's been so
I
long
did
since I've
not
seen it.
know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
NBC kind of like shelved it, trying to hide it away, but I think it's gotten out there at some point. So,
I need to look it up. And if anybody can find the Tremors pilot, that's one that I really want to see. They brought Kevin Bacon back to do a Tremors series, and the pilot, like a few clips, no, it was a trailer for the pilot leaked, and it looked incredible. And they never ordered it
uh,
to full. They never greenlit the show, and I'm like, based on that incredible trailer, you guys didn't order it. So yeah, you brought Kevin Bacon back for nothing. Come on.
look, this is how it goes. Like Ryan Reynolds showed us how the way leak something and it'll get made because he did it with Deadpool.
Yeah.
Leak the little test footage, let people take with it what they will, and eventually enough people make noise, they're gonna make it. So, maybe Kevin Bacon knows somebody that can leak that pilot for us so we can see it. So, now to CW's credit at the time, they just gave us the Aquaman pilot from Justin Hartley for free with Lou Diamond Phillips and everything. So we got to see it. Well, it didn't get picked up. It did have potential, but at least Hartley got
Yeah.
to play Green Arrow and did a pretty good job. So
No, I'll be honest with you, I did love him as Green Arrow. I think
yeah,
he did a better role as Green Arrow than did Aquaman.
yeah.
But I thought it was supposed to be the same universe.
No, it was separate because we already
Okay.
had Aquaman in Smallville. We had Alan, what's his last name? Jack Reacher guy.
Richardson?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was Aquaman in Smallville. Yeah.
What? How many characters has he played in
Uh,
in a comic book now?
yeah, exactly. Think about that. He was in Titans as well. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
So
was,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
now people are trying to make him to be the leading candidate for the next Batman, which would be interesting. I would say.
Mhm. Could
Dude,
work.
man, Smallville, when they introduced that they teased the Justice League, I was so stoked for it. And
They
then
gave it
they
to us
just
for one
freaking,
episode, but it was a great episode. So I mean, I'll
yeah,
give them that. So yeah.
it was some awesome stuff.
It's kind of like Flash giving us the Justice League in the Hall
Oh,
of Justice, and that was like the end of it.
oh, dude.
The
Yeah,
round
that's
table
so,
and everything.
yeah.
Whew,
Then
good times.
yeah. Oh, by the way,
Um,
too, Flash is going to be here too. That's going to
you're
be
s-
awesome.
yeah. We'll call out a few of those guys at the end. We can. There's like 50 of them, so yeah, we can call out like all of them. Gonna be a great show. We'll talk about it in like 5 minutes. I promise. Any final things to mention about Superman? I kind of just wanna. I'll conclude for myself because I've already talked about it enough. I think I really liked the movie. It wasn't one that blew me away. And then if I'm ranking this compared to James Gunn's other comic book movies that he's directed, not wrote, but directed or produced. He produced the evil Superman one. Um,
Brightburn, right? Was it called
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Brightburn? Yeah. Mhm.
But if it's the three Guardians movies, if it's the
Suicide
Suicide
Squad.
Squad movie and this one, I'd put this one above Suicide Squad, but I don't think I'd put it above any of the Guardians movies. Those just like those just felt well paced, well written, um, like perfectly paced. Actually, I'll change that, and I was just way more emotionally invested in those movies, especially the third one. Third movie, Guardians. Like I've more invested in that movie than probably any other movie I've ever seen, and it's all because of CG robotic animals. Like, come on, James. Now you're just showing off. Yeah.
Um, I love the film. I love where they're going with this. I love it. It's a definitely a good start. I think James didn't. Um, I say this on the WrestleCast sometimes. Don't like assume we're not intelligent people. Like we know the story. Like in wrestling, like we're not dumb. Wrestling fans can see through a lot of things. Comic fans can see through a lot of things. Like we don't need the backstory on Clark Kent, Kal-El, Superman. We already know. So I like the fact that he just dove right in. Here it is in text. It's been 3 years. He just got his ass kicked. Boom, go. And you're right into it. You mentioned it too yourself. To like, it was nonstop. And I think that I really like that because how many Superman films have we seen where there's just a little bit of too much talking sometimes? But everything in this story made sense. I really enjoyed it. It's got me excited for where the future of the DC film franchise is going to go. And yeah, I'm excited for it. So I really thought it was a great film. I think James Gunn did a fantastic job.
Ray?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. It's okay. What got me at the very end, where we, of course, where we started at the beginning, we see him, in the chair watching the video of his basically his mom and dad, because it made him feel good when the robots were taking care of him. And then at the very end, when we get the new video of his childhood growing up, on the Kent farm, I think I like that more because we got to see him being cared for, who was an alien, who a family took him in, who didn't know anything about him, didn't know he had powers at the time, and they raised him and cared for him and gave him love, and it made him who he was, and not the parents that actually gave birth to him. So that's what really hit home for me at the end of the movie.
There you
For
go.
sure.
There you go. As of today, and this is definitely has the potential to increase a little bit more over the next week or two. The movie sits at $594 million worldwide, so it's right there on the cusp of breaking 600 mil. And there's a lot of folks debating whether or not this is actually a profitable movie. I can almost guarantee you it made its budget back, its marketing back,
Hmm.
and made profit at 600 million worldwide. And I know people think they know the equations and they know everything else, and it's like maybe, but I promise you, 600 million is more than enough for Warner Brothers to consider this a success in their eyes. I really liked it. It's definitely not perfect. It has its flaws. A few of them for me are slightly glaring, not deal breakers by any means, but overall I'd really enjoy it. I'd say this movie above all the other ones. I can say this honestly coming from me. This felt like an animated series episode come to life.
Hmm.
Saying that, I still don't know if that's exactly what I need. I don't need a cartoon come to life, but I'm willing to admit, like, if that was the objective, nailed it. 100%. You fully succeeded at bringing a Superman animated episode to life with a slew of characters and villains, and you went to space, you went into pocket dimensions,
Hmm.
like all over the place. It was a lot of ideas. And for most other directors or storytellers, like it could have gotten too convoluted very quick. James is talented enough to where he can make all of these ideas work and manage all these characters at this level. Not a lot of people can do that. The best, most talented, award-winning directors, not all of them can do that. James can absolutely pull it off, and he pretty much did in that regard. This was a lot of ideas. This was a lot of characters. It was a lot of different set pieces. I've already mentioned all the places that he went, and that's also kind of why it felt so quickly paced, if you ask me, because we're moving, we're moving, we're moving. Next scene, next scene. We're going here, we're going there. This fight, that fight. It definitely was a lot. I
Hmm.
would like to see James take DC into like a serious, not all the time, but lean more into the serious and the drama of a film. We know he can do hokey and lighthearted stuff. We know he can do that. He's been doing it. He's perfected that already. If he can take a future project and lean a little bit more into the serious tone, the grittiness, um, I would love to see him do that and really flex because he's not done those things before. Every time we get serious in a Guardians movie, usually a joke afterwards.
Hmm.
Usually lightning, being making it lighthearted afterwards with stuff. But he can pull it off. I think he can. Shall we do ratings? I don't know what I rated the first time, but I feel like I've settled on a number right now. So Geekcast rating 1 out of 5. one
2.5.
one being Madam Web, 5 being
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
are we still going with 5 being Zack Snyder's Justice League? I don't care if you guys think so. Me and JC, we still feel that way.
Hmm.
So I'll go first. This movie, I will settle on a 4 on this one. Solid 4. It's a recommend for all the reasons I've already stated. It's not perfect, but all the things he wanted to do, he fully accomplished, and I laughed my head off more than I thought I would in a Superman movie. But that's James. He's not going to change the way he does things, and he pulled it off. JC, what do you got?
First off, I've only ever given 3 films a 5. One was Zack Snyder's Justice League, as you mentioned. I've always said Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame are one movie, and I've given that as a 5 collectively. The other 5 is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Just throwing that out there right now.
I knew you were going to say that.
This one is definitely a 4.5 for me. I'm with Tommy on this one. Easily an A. Fantastic job. I mean, I think James Gunn had said before Superman was like a dream for him to make a movie, and he did it, and he did a great job. So 4.5. I'm excited for what comes next. So
And Ray?
I'm gonna give it a 5 from the comic standpoint. If you've read any of Mark Waid's runs on Superman, I feel he took a little bit of that and brought it to the screen. So I'm gonna go with a 5 for me, just because of that, and then the very end, crypto. Those 3 things combined really sold it for me.
And Tommy gives a 8.5 to 9 out of 10, which actually kind of matches what we've already come up with. So that brings
Yeah.
our overall Geekcast rating to a 4.5. Not too shabby, as I always say. He says, I think a cartoon come to life is good since the best DC portrayals are still in the DC
Okay.
AU.
Like Tommy's next comment. Okay.
First of all, Madam Web is a 0 right
So
next
first
to
of all,
Logan. He's not
you've
wrong.
always done 1 to 5. You've never done 0 to 5. On the WrestleCast, we do 0 to 5, and it's always been a joke with us. Like 0 is ECW December to December, as he puts it there. 5 is WrestleMania 17. But yeah, so we have always joked, especially when Tez was alive, that we would watch December to Dismember and live react to it. We haven't been able to figure that out yet in 7 years of the WrestleCast, but we're gonna get there at some point. I'm pretty sure. So yeah.
I'd rather watch Josh Brolin's Jonah Hex over Madam Web.
Oh
I'd
my
rather
God.
watch Will Smith's Wild Wild West over Madam
Oh,
Web.
dude.
Oh man.
What was that movie that John Travolta was in when he was an alien? Like a Star Trek ripoff?
Battlefield Earth.
Oh, dude.
I'd rather watch Battlefield
Yeah.
Earth over Madam Web.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So yeah, that'll do it for our Superman discussion. Before we go, just wanted to let everyone know that we're busy, and there is a massive event that's coming out, and I'm not even exaggerating. This is going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest conventions in the U.S. I, of course, am talking about the second ever SpaceCon San Antonio. These are just the Star Wars guests that have been announced, and it
Wow.
all starts with Emperor Palpatine, Ian McDermott, but you also got Billy D. Williams, Carrie Ann Moss, Paul Bettany, who played Dryden Voss, of course, who's also Vision. He's got a series coming out pretty soon.
Mhm.
The great Giancarlo Esposito, who played Moff Gideon, is coming back for a third time, if I'm
You
not
gonna get a
mistaken.
reunion with you and Giancarlo, Ted? What's going on here? So
We
yeah,
we might, we might.
yeah.
Natasha Lou Bordizzo, who was absolutely incredible as Sabine Wren on the first season of Ahsoka, Ivana Sakno, and then the great Sam Witwer,
Doomsday in
who
Smallville.
Doomsday in Smallville, Star Killer. He's also played a number of other characters, and oh, he's also voicing Darth Maul in the upcoming Darth Maul series that'll be
Oh
out pretty
my
soon.
God. I would love for Star Killer to become canon just at some point. You know, you never know. You never know. Those video games are fantastic. So yeah.
And these are just the Star Wars guess. If you go to spacecon sa.com, you're going to find a whole bunch of other amazing guests. We talked about a few of them already. Grant Gustin, who played the Flash on the CW series for 7 seasons, is going to be in attendance. Might be the first time he's come to San Antonio. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like I would have
No, it is.
been at an event had he been here before. Um, we have the cast of Daredevil who's going to be in attendance. The cast of Starship Troopers are going to be in attendance. Battlestar
Michael
Galactica
Ironside.
is bringing a like 5 or 6 guests. It is jam packed full of stars for this year's SpaceCon San Antonio, and I'm gonna tease this now, but you guys are not gonna believe it when we announce it. In the next week or two, we're going to announce a very special guest who's going to be at our booth at SpaceCon San Antonio, meeting with fans, taking photos. We're not gonna give any hints on who it is, but I promise you, I could give you 100 guesses, and I'm fairly certain you guys would not figure out who it's going to be. So there will be an announcement made in the next week or two about our special guest, and it's going to blow some of you guys away. I'm just going to say that right now. We're all really excited about it, and
It's
yeah.
Sydney Sweeney, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, Tommy says, at least you laugh at Wild Wild West. Okay, no, Battlefield Earth is also a zero.
See? Yeah, right?
Tommy wants in on more panels because he's been
Of
killing it the
course.
last few
Yeah.
years on panels.
Mhm.
In his mind, Star Killer is totally canon. I agree with you there. My fanfic brain can make most things
Yeah.
canon. Grant Gustin will be the reason my wife goes to SpaceCon. I believe it. I can't wait for Daredevil Born Again season 2. Starship Troopers might get my dad to go. Triple H? Question mark.
Oh gosh.
Who knows? Who knows? We will, like I mentioned,
Oh.
announce it soon. Can't wait. It's gonna be a great time. Anything else going on we need to talk about? JC? Any local
Yeah.
events?
Well, before we get into wrestling, I do want to say rest in peace to Terrence Stamp, legendary
Yep.
London actor, and on the Smallville lore side of things, portrayed Zod on screen in the Superman films, the Christopher Reeve films. Which, by the way, another great cameo is Christopher Reeve's son making a cameo in essence as himself in the Superman movie as well. Um, but more than that, Terrence Stamp not only played Zod, but of all people, played the voice of Jor-El on Smallville, which was just yeah, there we go. Um, and it's funny when they first teased that Brainiac was bringing Zod into Smallville, it had Terrence Stamp's face on it. You know, in an
Yeah.
early, I think it was season 5 when they had Brainiac in there, and then of course Zod eventually shows up. It's Callum Blue, but um, yeah, it's Terrence Stamp just on the Superman lore of things, going from playing the ultimate one of the biggest Superman villains out there to portraying the biological father figure that Clark clashed with so many times, pretty much up until
Yep.
season 10 when he fulfilled his destiny. So, rest in peace, Terrence Stamp. But just in the Superman lore of things, it's a big loss. So,
One hell of an
yeah.
actor.
On the wrestling side of things, I mentioned it. We actually this past Sunday was the 7th anniversary of the WrestleCast. We are gonna be talking about a couple events coming up this weekend. Oh well, Tommy and Mike were just at a couple. Oh, Dad, you there? He lost his camera.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Uh, Mike and Ted were at United 210 and Hybrid Experience over the weekend. They'll talk about that. We'll talk about what's upcoming with NXT Heatwave and uh, AEW's Forbidden Door. But I will say this: I watched Triple Mania this past weekend. You can watch it for free on YouTube, on the WWE YouTube, on WWE's Espanol YouTube, or on the Lucha Libre AAA YouTube. It was free. And I will tease this and say this. This has been the best wrestling event of the year
Wow.
was Triple Mania. So if you got time, you want to watch wrestling, go watch it. It's on the WWE YouTube channel. They broadcast it for free. Amazing show, fantastic, and I dare I say better than WrestleMania was this year, and that does say a lot. So, um, yes, Tommy, better than Wrestle Kingdom from New Japan as much as you love it. So, stay tuned to Wednesday night. We'll be talking about that. It was an amazing show, and we're gonna be talking about that this week. So, and there you go. Yeah, Tommy goes to a lot of local events. He's gonna be talking about Dog Pound as well this coming Saturday. So, yep.
All right.
Mhm.
Thank you, everybody, for watching our potentially final discussion. I think it's a fine discussion of Superman 2025, but we'll probably revisit if we need to. Thanks for all the comments, everybody in the chat. You guys were awesome. Uh oh. Uh oh. You better settle down.
Prayers answered. Power Girl coming in.
Do not hesitate on getting your SpaceCon San Antonio tickets. There might be one or two more official guests by the promoters get that will be announced, but beyond all that, the lineup is already stacked. You do not want to miss out on getting a photo op or an autograph from somebody you really want to. So go check out the listings that they already have. Do not miss out. We tell people every year to go because it's such a well run event, and there's so many momentous occasions that happen throughout the entire time that we're there, and luckily we're a part of a few of those. So yeah, do not hesitate. Go check it out. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. That'll do it for us for the Countdown City Geekcast. My name is Ted, aka Steady. Joining me on this final Superman 2025 discussion is one only Retro Ray.
Thanks for letting us come on and talk about Superman.
And last but definitely not least, the man, the myth, the legend, the one only JC.
Thank you everyone for watching, listening. I love talking Superman, but when are we talking Fantastic Four? I want to be on that one too. So yes,
Probably
can't
something
wait.
we got to do.
Yes,
Um, Tomorrow, do not miss the next episode of Alien Earth. We will be doing a post review discussion live on this channel because I'm going to go ahead and say it. It is the best start to any sci fi series that's ever been made. I know that's a bold claim, but those first two episodes were absolute perfection. And if they keep it up at this rate, they're just going to blow everything else out of the water. So join us tomorrow for a episode 3 recap of Alien Earth.
nice. Fantastic Four. Tommy's in. And while we're jumping on that, if you got time looking for something to watch, go on Amazon Prime and watch the Zorro first season of Zorro from last year. It came out 2024. I had no idea. It was made in Spain. It's so well done. Watch it in Spanish with English subtitles. It's so much better that way. But as a big Zorro fan myself, I was very, very pleased with it, and it did a fantastic job. So one of those hidden gems out there. Trust me, it's really good. So
Yeah,
There you
if
go.
you're a Fantastic Four fan, go
Yeah.
watch my interview I had with Michael Bailey Smith. We
yes,
talked about being where he played Freddy. We talked about him being on the blue carpet for the Fantastic Four premiere. You're going to want to hear that interview.
Nice.
We're gonna get Predator eventually, JC. It's gonna happen. It's on the way. You gotta watch. You gotta watch. Trust me. All right, take it easy, guys. Peace.
Laters.